What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I want to talk about the SPS rental market because I've been tracking this the last day or two, just going in every couple of hours and seeing what the going rate is for SPS. Now, you can see here that there's two bids going for 0.004 DEC, each of them for about 25,000 SPS, and then it drops down to the 0.003 DEC price range, which has become much more common. Now, here's the thing. For people that want to get their bids filled fast, it used to be you'd have to price it at 0.005, and then 0.004 had significant amounts of bids in there, right? Where most of the time when I was renting on my SPS, it would be pretty easy to rent out whatever I wanted. I mean, here, there's only 50,000 SPS being requested. So the question is, and I'm recording this for context, I'm recording this about 12 hours before the Wild Season Pass goes live. The question is, okay, are accounts actually shutting down for this? Is it going to have that intended effect where many of the accounts that were just renting their way to get something in Wild will no longer be doing so? So, again, this video could be obsolete within a matter of days. At this point, we'll actually end up seeing it. But this is just one of the markers that I've been looking at, because one of the things that many people had been saying early on, and I hadn't thought through it enough whether to agree or disagree with them, was that the price of SPS would really start to go up in terms of how much you would need to pay in order to rent. But that's not really the case here, and ultimately I could make the counter argument that if you have a lot of bots that are shutting down and going offline, well, at this point, right, like there's a lot more SPS out there that's looking for a home, which means all those 0.004 DEC bids will get, swept up pretty quickly, and the majority that you would see here would be 0.003. So we've shifted down a level, which is significant because it's like a 20 to 25% reduction in whatever the APR is. I mean, granted, SPS is also down in the 0.008 cent range, which is not fantastic, but it is what it is. Now, that being said, the bright side of this, if you wanted to take a good conspiracy theory, is maybe all these bots just decided to go out and buy SPS because SPS is trading below a penny. But I don't think that's really the case. My guess is that we're going to see a massive shift in how accounts will interact with Wild. And I wouldn't be surprised. Let me put it this way. I wouldn't be surprised if you had bot accounts, bot farms even, we'll say, sit out the first couple of days. So I'll say this as like my mini prediction here, that even if, the first couple of days we see battle as well as player activity down significantly, I think that'll just be a matter of time for the bot farms or anybody running bots, right? It doesn't need to be bot farms, but anybody with alt accounts to do the proper assessment to see, hey, how much are people earning now, right? Did the rewards in terms of the quantity of SPS received per battle, did that go up significantly, right? Because of the fact that there's a lot less accounts playing and draining the pool. And if it did go up significantly, well, all of a sudden the incentive would be there to come in and say, well, let's turn X amount of bots back on and see how this goes, right? We'll see if they're profitable. So if you see that dip early on, I wouldn't necessarily, maybe people probably wouldn't even count it as a win anyway, but I wouldn't necessarily think that okay, mission accomplished. Granted, I think ultimately this is still going to be a good thing, because if those accounts, right, bot, human, whatever alt accounts, decide to come back and participate and interact with the ecosystem, they'll be forced to burn that, DEC or vouchers. And right now, I think I made a video yesterday or 2 days ago talking about how I don't even know if the impact is going to be felt in the economy right away. We have an oversupply of vouchers, and vouchers are trading well below their intended soft peg. The DEC is from its, somewhat soft peg as well. So at this point, I think we have to eat through all the vouchers before we can even do anything with the DEC. But again, just coming back to this, and I'm just curious now. I'm going to refresh because I want to see if those bids got filled super quick or what the case is now. Yeah, well, one of them got filled, right? So here we are with a majority of it being in the 200,000 range. So what'll be interesting to see as we go over with this is if people are unable to either rent their SPS out because there's just not enough bids that are at whatever price level that they're looking for, that marginal benefit of just keeping it staked while you're playing is actually beneficial for like everybody else if you think about it, right? So not to call out Vuctus, I have nothing against him, but it's like if Vuctus has 20 million SPS and he's like used to renting out 5 million at a time, but because the rental market just isn't where it used to be, him going from 15 million to 20 million is not going to do as much as new accounts coming in renting out that 5 million. So hopefully you understand where I'm coming from here. So in a way, it could still be beneficial for everybody that's participating if you're not already like a whale and well past the 400,000, or I guess for Wild now 800,000 that you would need in Champ to get that kind of 10x or 12x multiplier. But again, I'm just curious. I only interact with this, every so often. Like I said, for the last couple of days, I've just been checking it to see where rental prices go. And again, this video might end up being obsolete within a matter of hours or days. But I'm curious to know what you guys have been seeing for those of you that do actively rent SPS or rent out your SPS, right? I've never rented SPS, so I've never even placed a bid. I'm usually the one renting it out. But has it become difficult, more easy? I would assume if you're willing to pay the 0.004 DEC, and granted, everything's down, right? DEC is down, SPS is down. So if you're willing to pay that, it's probably significantly easier because those bids seem to be getting scooped up rather quickly. But again, because I just don't have as much experience and as much exposure, always curious to know what your experience is with it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.